Easy guys, Dom here from Cringy Dad Gaming. So in this video we're just going to talk about my early impressions of Mafia 3. Been playing this for a few hours last night on its release, and I have to say early on I'm really impressed by the story and the characters. The way they're building it up so far has been extremely good. If you're kind of into maybe kind of crime thrillers or maybe gangster movies in general, you will really buy into the way the story has been built, kind of like the betrayal and the strength of different factions and families. I think also the way this story is kind of running so far, it really does point out how bad racism was in this era, and that really playing as obviously a character where you can actually see a lot of racism being thrown at them really does make the kind of the depth and the grittiness of the story really work. So that I am very impressed with. The combat in the game is very good. It feels like it should. It's responsive. The array of weapons seem quite vast and obviously fit well within the era that you're playing in as well, which is kind of like at the time of the Vietnam War. Lincoln Clay obviously being a Vietnam vet. Not going to spoil the story too much, but that is obviously a big factor within the game. One thing I'm not overly impressed with so far has been the graphics. Now, a lot of the footage I've seen on this, I think, has been on PC, so obviously there's going to be a vast, difference between PC and console. But this is on the PS4, and I have kind of noticed that I think maybe it is to do still with the kind of pop-in that you get. And some of the textures in the world aren't always loading up correctly, and I know this has only just been released, so there may be a patch that may actually fix that. But I am noticing that some of the detail in some of the areas seem a little bit shoddy, some of the textures and a little bit rough around the edges, and that is something I think 2K need to work on with this. But it's not bad enough that it's actually making me kind of not want to play the game and not want to look at it. I mean, I am quite funny about graphics in games, so that is maybe just down to my eyes and how I see the game. But if you are into games like Grand Theft Auto and other open world games, then I think you will appreciate what there is in the world. There's a lot of good side missions and collectibles to do in the game as well. And I think when it comes to depth of story so far, like I've mentioned about obviously, kind of like crime thrillers and gangster films, but if you like story driven games like The Last of Us and things like that, then I think you will kind of like this. It's got a very cinematic feel to a lot of the cutscenes. One thing I've noticed that people have been griping on about a little bit is if you're a live streamer, you may find that the cutscenes won't actually play correctly when you're doing a live stream. There is a video up on my channel explaining a little bit more about that, so do check that out. But overall, my early impressions so far are very good. I've not thought about anything else today other than wanting to get back on the game and continue the story, so they've done a good job with that. So obviously watch this space for kind of more impressions on the game as we kind of delve further into the story and obviously into the character Lincoln Clay. And make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, help it grow, and obviously watch this space for more Mafia 3. Thanks for watching.